Not YCS related, do you have any tips for young players to become better and get better results? I think it's just a matter of, there's like a lot of things you can do, honestly, but everything comes down to just like being passionate about it, where like that is the way you don't get discouraged. That's the way you keep going, because there's nothing that replaces, like, it's just something that happens over time. There's nothing you can do today to be an like incredibly amazing player tomorrow, right? If you're just like average today. It's just something that happens over time. Like trying to work on your own logical thinking and whatnot. But the problem is all these things sound incredibly boring. Like, you know, be interested in like statistics and logical thinking and whatnot. That's not something you can just do. That is something that happens if you're passionate. Then you'll start caring about these things. You can't force yourself to care about it. You can start by not blaming the game for your losses. Sometimes, yeah, but you also need to, it's very important to know when you could have done something about it and when to not question yourself. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I see people blaming luck and variance and whatnot when it's not actually that, you see people just as often being discouraged or like blaming themselves when they shouldn't. It's like, yeah, sometimes it's just like, sometimes you lose. You're not meant to win every single game, right? You lose, and sometimes it's okay that you just lost. Sometimes it's just like, you know, I'm not supposed to win every single one of my matches, right? Like, sometimes I just have a tournament where I look back at it and I'm like, I think I played this fine. I think my deck decisions was fine. I think I reasonably would bring the same deck again, but I still didn't do well because, you know, maybe that day my opponents were really good. Maybe that day my opponents just had better hands. Maybe I was unlucky. Sometimes that happens. Usually, it's a bit of both worlds, right? Sometimes if you don't do well in a tournament, there's like one loss you could have prevented, some other losses you couldn't have prevented. But like, for the most part, it's very important learning how to evaluate wins and losses the right way, right? Not only your losses, even your wins. Because sometimes you win and you definitely should have played differently, and only because you didn't get punished for it doesn't mean that it was correct what you did, right? It's just like, in general, learning to deal with like results oriented thinking of like, I won, so I must have done it correctly, or I lost, this is why I must have done something wrong, is also not a good way to go about it.